We have a lot of progress, even in the last 10 years, in medication and diagnosis. So when I was diagnosed, I was told it was 90% men. It's now 50% men, 50% women, and that's great. We think that my mum had AS, and my auntie definitely does. She's been diagnosed in her 80s. The big thing is that there is lots of evidence saying move it or lose it, move it or fuse it, in essence, but there's very little about the actual specifics of what we should be doing. So an example of that is a doctor I know who has AS had an inflammation on his left knee, and he wasn't getting much in the way of what he could do in terms of a structured exercise program for that. But we can do that through yoga. So it's motivated by the big picture of this is the next step for us with AS. What do we specifically do for our individual conditions? And then certain individuals I've spoken to, and on social media as well. So many people are saying, I've got this pain, is there anything I can do about it to relieve that pain? So that's it, relieve pain, maybe, if we're lucky, slow down the progression.
So it's very relevant if you've got ankylosing spondylitis to work with a physiotherapist. Our job is to rehabilitate movement and function. So we will work with you with what you can manage with ankylosing spondylitis to improve and progress your movement in the best possible way. There's many different facets to ankylosing spondylitis, but physiotherapy will particularly work with mobilizing, so keeping you given the effect of ankylosing spondylitis, the fusion effect and the inflammation effect, keeping you as mobile as possible, so working on specific stretching exercises, specific ways that you can best maintain and even improve your movement, certainly in the early days. We'll also look at your general fitness, so there's plenty of evidence out there to suggest that it's a good idea to keep generally fit, so generally fit and active.
I think it's important because people give each other strength. If you're on your own, you can often feel obviously isolated, and I guess your mind can play tricks with you, whereas if you can talk with others, share your experiences, I think it's just supportive and helpful.
I think it's really good just to hear other people's thoughts. Some people have had it a long time, a lot longer than I've had it, and just to hear their stories really. I think stories are really important, and then once you get through that stage of understanding how other people have affected their lives, just to see what they've done about it and how they can address the issues, doing different things like yoga and Pilates, etc.
I really believe in the importance of yoga and stretching in general to help people with not just AS, but anyone can benefit from it. It's a universal thing, and it had such a profound impact on my life. I thought it's important to spread that awareness, and it's important to recognise how something can be quite scary or quite intimidating, but actually how empowering it can be very empowering to do.
This is Tadasana, the mountain pose. The feet are no more than hip width apart, and there is a line going down through there, like that. Toes pointing forward, pelvis lifting up. So the hips are moving slightly forward, like that. So that we're feeling an opening here. The shoulders are dropping down, increasing the gap between the top of the shoulders and the earlobes. Mountain pose. This is Utkatasana. Starting in Tadasana, the mountain pose, we're going to stretch the Achilles and the calves by just dropping straight down, and the hands go up and we lean slightly forward and tilt the pelvis. That's quite a stretch in the calves. Relax the shoulders. Breathe in 3 times, out 3 times, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Come back up. Utkatasana. So we're going to get a stretch in the front of the right thigh there. For balance, you can use a chair. It's upright. So we're doing it to get the stretch there. Doing both sides, keeping straight. You tilt the pelvis to get the stretch there. If you're beginning yoga and that's the first time you do that and you've got AS, then you will be feeling that. So you need to come out of it very slowly. You don't hold it for too long and you keep breathing softly and gently. This is a sideways stretch for the adductors. So we're opening out across the groin here. Use the hand there. Sideways stretch for the adductors. Again, the breathing is the same for all of these things. 3 breaths in, 3 breaths out, and the last one is a long one. Part of learning yoga is learning for yourself what's a good stretch and what's a strain. So don't overdo it. Sit on the block, edge forward so that your buttocks just slide on there. That helps this to move. Reaching forward, use the elastic. The elbows come back, level with the body, and breathe. It opens the chest and it stretches the backs of the legs over the buttocks. This is a hip opener, common to physio and Pilates and yoga. Keeping the right buttock on the ground, pull that down, stretch the back of the neck out, look down that way, feel the stretch and the opening in the right hip there. Every day AS is trying to take 1% off us. So we don't want to do massive, great big leaps forward because we'll get strained and injured and go into flare. We want to make just little improvements. And if you go to a yoga class once a week or you do this safely at home yourselves, just remember all we're trying to do is a little bit more each time. This is one to reach the entheses in the SI joints. Leg goes out straight there, this one goes up straight and goes over, like that. And that opens here. If you can get a bit of a twist as well, that's good. That's good for relieving pain in the SI joints. So this is tabletop. Get your position. Feet are hip width apart. Tadasana. Reach up. Stretch out. Heel of the hand onto the chair like that. Turn the shoulders out so that you get a stretch across the shoulder blades. Open the armpits. Keep the ears level with the arms. Tabletop. This is a forward bend. Extending the spine. Reaching forward. Again, the sternum rises, the movement is here. You can feel this opening up and stretch forward as far as you can go. The feet are quite far forward, the heels are away like Indian dancers. Then repeat for the other side. It's not a normal cross-legged position. Further forward. I'm stiffer on the right side, so I can feel that straight away. So that's a good one for me to do. Forward bend. So we've done a lot of opening up. We've done a spinal extension there. Now we're going to do a forward bend. For beginners, we bend the knees like this. We fold over the knees, clasp the arms and lean forward. That's quite enough. In time, you'll straighten the legs a little bit and do that. So the head comes up first, and that's a good spine stretch. It's very good for people with fused necks. Chair yoga. You can do this in the office. So we've extended the spine. When we've extended the spine, we can do some twists. So this is a very simple one. Sitting in the chair, try not to let that left knee go too far forward. Turn, and it's this part that we want to go up and through. Twist, like that. Come round to the middle. Rest a little. Then do the other side. We always do both sides. Again, when you haven't got much movement in your neck, that kind of twist can help you get the movement in the spine, so you may be able to drive a little better. Chitara, the lying twist. We move on the out breath. You may only be able to get over to like there. But it's a twist, you look the other way. Bit of a back bend. Breathe in and out 3 times, no more than that. Come up. Do the other side. Chitara. That's quite a stretch. Come out of it slowly. Always come out of a pose slowly and carefully. We've worked on all of the legs, the lumbar and thoracic spine. We've done some work on the shoulders and the neck. Now we're going to do a little bit more on the neck. One of the things that I do recommend is never do headstand or shoulder stand in yoga. If you have AS, that compresses the spine and it can damage the neck. So never do headstand or shoulder stand. This is a very, very slow, very careful turn of the neck. Do 3 of those round one way and 3 back the other way. So this is a forward bend, sitting on the front. The feet go quite far forward, and then I'm going to just stretch out that way. There, that's a good old stretch. Sophie's not holding me, she's just not pushing me or putting any pressure on, just something for me to lean onto. If you haven't got somebody to help you, you can use another chair in front of you so that you're on the back like that. So at the end of each yoga session, we like to relax so that the body memorizes what we've done, and also we don't want to tighten up. So this is called Savasana, the lying pose. Stretch the back of the neck out. Look down the body to as far as you can. If you have fusion in your neck and you have a kyphosis, put a block under your head. It helps to have blocks either side of the feet as well, so that you don't get the scissoring where you cause pain in the sacroiliac region. Breathe deeply and relax. And at the end of each session, you should do this for at least 2 or 3 minutes.